Welcome back to the Six Figure series. And today, what I'm going to talk about is one of the biggest issues that coaches have, which is dealing with online clients or problem clients or dealing with customer service issues. Okay. It's something that people haven't really been trained for. It's something that people aren't really experienced in. It's something that does unfortunately get worse with online coaching because you don't have the same level of relationship with people online at first because you've never met them in person. It takes a little bit longer to build that relationship. And unfortunately, the first 30 days is where you get most of your customer service issues. And it's something that you need to be extremely well equipped with. If you're going to get to six figures, I'm assuming that you're going to be working between anywhere 35 to 50 clients, which means that eventually you are going to run into these issues. And if you don't handle them correctly, you'll end up getting stressed, you end up getting overwhelmed, and you end up dealing with them in the wrong way and letting it consume your whole day. If you want to know how to deal with this properly, make sure that you stay to the end of this video, but also make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification to let yourself know when we have more videos. The first thing I would want to talk to you about with customer service is do not take it personally. Understand that it happens and don't fall into the narrative that a lot of people will tell you online that they never have customer service issues. A lot of people who have customer service issues either don't deal with them, they just ignore them and bury their head in the sand, or they deal with them very aggressively and then block people and therefore still never deal with customer service issues. What we want to do when we have customer service issues is we want to put on something that we would be happy to anybody outside the company looking in on and understanding the way we have dealt with that matter from both a client perspective and from a business perspective. Now, when I was earlier in my business, we never used to deal with it because we used to just, yeah, fine, go, yeah, whatever, right, I understand that's we'll let you out of the contract, we'll let you out, we'll do. It doesn't work at scale because what people end up doing is when things get tough for them, when you want people to challenge themselves, they quit. Right? And if you give too many people a backdoor in your program, you're actually not doing your job as a coach correctly. Because yes, there are certain policies in place and we'll go through those in a minute, but people will likely try and give up every time things get tough. And it's your job as a coach to hold them to what they said they wanted. Okay. Now, again, there's a gray area here and there's a line that you can't cross. But if you just let people out every time they have the smallest issue, you are not doing your job as a coach correctly. So what I'm now going to go through is a proper customer service procedure like the one that we use in our business. So there's a load of technical and legal stuff here that I can't go into the in-depths of, A, because I don't fully understand it myself, to the level of understanding that I would have to be to teach you about it. And the second thing is I don't have the time. Okay, so I'm going to go through the overall policies that you should have. You should have a clear initial agreement with clients. When clients come into your service, you should have an agreement of what is expected of them, what they should expect out of you, and what the policies and procedures are if there are any issues going forward. Eventually there will be issues and you want them to be aware that there is a correct process for this. When I didn't have this in my business, every time there was an issue, I was getting a message on Instagram instead of it going through the proper procedures. But dealing with it on a social media chat is not the right way to go about it. There are proper policies in place and you need to make sure that your clients are aware of what those are so they know how to follow it. You cannot be upset about a client not following a procedure that you've not told them about. Okay, so that's the first thing. Have a clear initial agreement. The second thing is I would have a clear and fair exit policy from your program. What you don't want people to do is feel like they're trapped in something that they can never get out of and you're going to ride them into the ground with legal letters. However, you need people to be aware that there are certain circumstances where they can exit your program, with no penalties and no problems, but there are also circumstances where they're going to be held to the agreement that's been met. And you need to have a clear policy on what that is. And the clients need to be aware of what that policy is so they know where they stand as well. The final thing you need is a clear customer service issue policy. Not everything has to end in an exit. Not everything has to end in a refund. Not everything has to end in that client leaving your program. However, if you don't have a clear customer service escalation policy, there'll be no way to deal with matters before they get to the point of no return. Okay? So what you need is a policy where they can come to you honestly and openly, You can discuss any problems. You can come to an agreement on what needs to be resolved. And then you can input that agreement and continue with what the client actually came to you to achieve. All right. If you take everything as a personal attack, if you don't take feedback very well, if you don't have a customer service policy, you will not be able to deal with those problems effectively. You will deal with them as a person to person, and it's not, okay? It's a customer service issue, and you need to understand that some of your customers are going to have different needs. They're going to have different things that pop up. You are going to have to make allowances. You just need to be clear what allowances you can make and what you're not willing to make, so you know where that customer service policy stands. Now, the final couple of things I will tell you on customer services, other than make sure you get these policies in place, get advice from a solicitor. Get advice from a solicitor and get advice from somebody who is trained in HR. We have a team that advises on HR. We have a team that advises on contract law. We have a team that advises on our legal rights, okay? And we work with all of those things to make sure that we have the best for our customers and for our staff, all right? It's an initial outlay for your business, but if you are looking to get to six figures and you're not looking at just making some pocket money out of this, it's highly something I would invest in, okay? I will put a link to our solicitors underneath, just in case you ever want to, if you're in the UK. If you're outside of the UK, obviously they're going to be a bit useless to you. Make sure you don't take it personally. It is not a personal attack, okay? And the final thing is, if once you get to six figures and start getting above, hire someone who is trained in HR and customer service to deal with it for you, because I guarantee, as a personal trainer, you are not the kind of person that is the best person in your business to deal with things like this. So outsource that as soon as possible to a trained professional who can do the best for you and your clients. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that's given you some insights into what a proper customer service policy should look like. And I'll see you next time.